In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to run TikTok ads. We're going to talk about how to set up your TikTok campaigns the correct way, how to get TikTok ad creative that converts in it very quickly, and then 2 different strategies for scaling your campaigns. Now, the first thing you will need to do in order to start running TikTok ads is to create an account. If you don't already have an account already, be sure to check out the description down below. TikTok often runs different ad credit incentives to get people to sign up for TikTok ads. So I'll be sure to keep that description updated with the latest incentives. Once you have your TikTok ad account created, it is important to understand what the structure looks like on a TikTok ads campaign. Now, when it comes to the structure, basically you have your campaign here at the top that we're going to be walking through how to set up. And then inside of that campaign, you can have multiple ad groups. You can have even one single ad group if you want. You can have as many as you would like. Standard is anywhere from 2 to 4 inside of a campaign. And then inside of each ad group, you can create ads. And I typically like to have 3 ads per ad group. You can have more or less if you'd like, but I find the golden standard for me personally is around that 3 mark. So in order to start creating this structure that we have here, what we're going to do is we're going to come into the campaign tabs in TikTok Ads Manager. Once you click on that, you're going to see a view that looks something like this. We want to click on this create button. And from here, TikTok is going to give us all sorts of different advertising objectives. Now, if you are trying to get sales on your website or leads, I would recommend probably this column over here with conversions, either the lead objective, the website conversions, or product sales. For us, we're going to be keeping it simple and going with the website conversions. If you don't already have your TikTok pixel installed on your website, I encourage you to check out this video up above here in the top right hand screen or the descriptions down below to learn how to set up your pixel. You're going to want to go through and do that before you start running a conversion based campaign. So we're going to go through and click on the website sales here. Now we are going to leave this campaign type, this smart performance, off right now. We need to go through and give this a campaign name. I'm going to call this prospecting ABO, and I'll explain where that ABO comes from here in a minute. And then we have these special categories. Most of the time you won't have to worry about those unless you're in one of these 3 categories. And then create split test, we're going to leave this off for now. The campaign budget optimization, we want to leave this off for now as well. Let me explain what the campaign budget optimization means. You can see here, if you are running a campaign budget optimization, basically what you're doing is you're allowing TikTok to go through and give budget to whatever ad group TikTok thinks is performing best. So you can see here, if you have a $100 daily budget, TikTok can go through and give an ad group $80 of that budget and then starve the other 3 ad groups and maybe only give it 10 or 5 budget. What I like to do is like to have a little bit more control when I first start launching my campaigns. And so I like to leave this off and use something called ad group budget optimization. And that's where the ABO stands for, ad group budget optimization. And this is where if we give TikTok a $100 budget, we can actually give the ad groups their individual budget. So if I had a $100 budget, I can give each ad group $25 of that budget. Or if I had a $50 budget, I can give them 2 ad groups $25 budget. So when you are first starting off, I like to have a little bit more control and run with an ABO, and that just helps me with the naming convention there. So we're going to leave both of these off, and the campaign budget as well, we're going to leave off because we're going to set that at the ad group level. Here, we're going to hit continue. And then now we have the ad group name. Now, when I start creating campaigns inside of TikTok, there's a simple structure that I like to use. And that structure is this one right here. The first setup, basically, this is kind of a foolproof way to go through and set up your TikTok ads account. Basically, you have your campaign, which we went through and set up, and then you want to set up 2 different ad groups. We have the interest-based targeting and the automatic or broad-based targeting. And then inside of each one of those, we have 3 different ads. So we're going to come back over here, and we're going to start with the broad-based targeting. So I'm going to call this broad-based targeting. And broad-based targeting is exactly what it sounds like. It's where we go through and we keep the targeting as broad as possible. The benefits of this is I found that TikTok actually does a really good job finding the users. And so you don't have to really guide it as much because of the data that TikTok does have on its users. You can see here is the automatic targeting. We don't have to opt into that. So you can go through and adjust some of these if you would like, but we're going to leave them as broad as possible. And we are just going to leave this basically wide open. You can see you can go through and do location, gender, age, and then also do specific targeting. We're going to come back and do those kind of targetings here when we do the interest-based targeting. But for now, we're going to scroll down, and then we are going to give this a daily budget of $20. $20 is the minimum you can run with an ad group, so keep that in mind. If you wanted to run multiple ad groups, you need to have at least $20 per ad group. Then you can go through and give a scheduled date or a start time. We're just gonna have this starting continuously. You can set specific times if you wanted to run maybe only on Mondays from 3 to 21. It's in military time here. Or if you wanted to do specific time dates, you can go through and do day parting. We're just gonna keep this on all day. And then we do want to keep this on the maximum delivery, and we are optimizing for those conversions. So then we can go through and hit next. And don't worry, we're going to go through and set up the rest, all of this automatic targeting right here, ads 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll come back to the interest targeting and set that up as well. So here we are at the actual ad creative level, and we want to go through and give this ad a name. So we're just going to call this ad 1. And then from here, you can go through and set your custom identity, or if it's attached to a profile, this will already be done. You can go through and set a profile picture right here. So we're going to go through and upload an image and then the username there for our identity. And then here's where you can go through and add different ad formats. Most of the time, the single video is probably what I would recommend. And then you can go through and upload your videos from your library or create a new one. Now, a lot of people have questions when it comes to TikTok ads and how to actually get TikTok ads created. And it's something that kind of trips a lot of people up. I want to show you an easy solution and a couple tools that I use to get TikTok ad creative done in a really good way, really quickly. So the first tool is the TikTok Creative Center. If you're looking for inspiration, this is a great option. I'll leave a link to this down below. You can see you can come over here to the TikTok top ads dashboard. From here, you can go through and sort out all different things such as the industry. Say you are in the appliances, then you can go through and select that. And it's going to give you the top creative for that specific industry. And you can scroll through and get an idea of what creative is currently working for your specific niche. Now, this is a great way for, tool for inspiration. However, it's not going to actually go through and create the ads for you. But if you wanted to just get your ad creative done as quickly as possible, a company that I would recommend is Brands Off Ads. This is an incredibly useful service. Basically, what you can do is in their portal, once you go through and sign up, you can go through and order this TikTok split testing package in the vertical videos. And you can see it will deliver in 1 to 5 business days. It will include a one TikTok ad with 3 hook variations. And it's delivered very quickly within 1 to 5 days and fairly affordable. So I will leave a link to Brands Off Ads down below if you are interested in testing out this package, or you can go through and build the ad creative yourself, whatever is best for you. But if we come back over here, we're going to go through and upload our creative. You can click this down and then upload the files that you have. And once that's uploaded, it will give you a preview of what it will look like in the feed and what it will look like in the TikTok search results here when it scrolls over, or you can click down, you can see that's what it will look like. Here you can go through and add text like shop today and get 20% off. And then the last thing is to go through and add a URL to the specific page. So now we can go through and hit the submit button here and submit this ad to TikTok. Okay, and then it's going to take you to a view that looks like this, and you can see we have our campaign in here with the prospecting ABO, and then our ad group with our broad-based or automatic targeting, and then the one ad. But we are not finished here because, as you recall, I mean, you could stop right here if you wanted to, but I would encourage you to test at least 2 other creative. So we've gone through and we've created the automatic targeting ad group and the one ad. Now we need to go through and create 2 more ads. And if you did go through and use the client portal on Brands Off Ads, they actually give you 3 for this package. So you have a couple more to test. What we're going to do is simply come over here to the copy. And we are going to create these in the existing ad group and campaign and make things easy for ourselves. We're going to create 2 copies of this and hit copy here. Then all we need to do is go in and just change out the video creative here. It can go to the exact same link. So I'm going to go through and update that real quick and we'll come back in a second. So now we went through and uploaded the other creative. Then we can come over to this one over here, click on that, and then do the exact same thing, hit update here. And then we're going to upload this from our computer. Okay, now we have our creative 3. Just went through and named that ad 3, and then we can go through and publish these. Okay, and now you can see inside of this campaign, if we come over here to this tab, we have our prospecting ABO, we have the one ad group for broad-based targeting, and then we have our ads 1, 2, and 3. You can see this first one's already approved. These ones will take just a few minutes and they'll probably be running as well. So we've now completed the full steps of getting our automatic targeting ad group up. Now, if you had more budget and you wanted to spend more, now you can go through and test an interest-based targeting against this automatic targeting. So what I like to do is come back over here to this ad group level, and we're just trying to make this as easy as possible. Then what we want to do is go through and copy this into our existing campaign, and we only want one copy of this, and this one we're going to call interest-based targeting, and then we copy that. And then now what we can do is actually go through and get a little bit more targeted with our specific targeting. So we can come over here and now we can do the specific demographics. You want to make sure you're targeting where you need to. For here, we're actually going to say that we're going to target maybe 18 to 45 or 50. A lot of people play pickleball that are a little bit older. And then languages, it looks good. You can go through and do the household income and audiences. We're going to come over here to the interest and behavior. And we are going to type in pickleball here, and you can see that there are lots of different interests. We're going to target this pickleball interest right here. Keep it really simple. And then we want to keep our budget at $20 a day. We can keep all these settings the exact same, and then we can continue to the ads. And now you can see we have our exact same 3 ads that we went through and built. If you wanted to test different ad creative here and you had 6 different ad creative, you could go through and do that. But to be honest, a lot of times I like to keep the same 3 ads inside of both of the ad groups, because what I'm testing for is to figure out which of these ads is the best, and then also which of these audiences perform better out of the interest targeting or the automatic targeting. So we're just going to come back over here and we're going to publish this with the 3 current ads that are inside of there. And now you can see inside of this one campaign, we have the 2 different ad groups, and we can see the data for each one of those. And we can set budgets, individual budgets for each of those ad groups at this level. And then you do have all of the ads that we just went through and created. You can see these ones are active now. These ones are in delivery. So we have a really good structure for our campaigns to be successful. Now, the next question is, how do you go through and scale these campaigns? So I think a lot of people overthink scaling and they think there's some sort of magic formula, but I want to show you 2 very simple strategies for scaling your TikTok ads campaign. The first one is vertical scaling and the second one is horizontal scaling. Now, vertical scaling is just giving more budget to an ad group that is performing best. So if we come back over here and we look at these ad groups, and let's say that the broad-based targeting really started to get a better ROAS and better performance for us. All we would do is just come over here and we could simply double this budget. And that is a simple way to scale. We're just giving more money to whatever is working better. And then once you start to see that this is really performing bad with the interest base, you can go through and pause it and give even more budget to this. And then you can double it to 60, 80, 20, whatever you would like to do. That's a simple way to go through and give to scale your budgets. And the next scaling option that I want to talk about is horizontal scaling. This is when you duplicate best performing ad groups and replace lower performing ads with new ones. So let's say that this broad-based targeting, we now have it running at 40 and it's still performing really well. And we have new creative that we want to go through and test. What we would do in this option is we would come over here to the broad-based targeting ads. We would evaluate all of these ads. Let's say that this ad number 1 was the best performer and these 2 were not performing as well. We would pause both of these because they aren't getting us the best ROAS. Then we would come back over here to the ad group. And then what I would do is I would copy this ad group just like this. We can just call this copy now, keep it easy. You can do as many copies as you like, but we'll just do 1 to keep it simple. And then once I have this copied, I would go through and keep all the settings the same that you have before. I don't know why the pixel got changed there, but then continue to the ads. Oh, the optimization got changed too for some reason. And then we would just continue to the ads. And then from here, you would go through and just delete the 2 creative that didn't perform as well. So we said that creative 1 was the best one. So we would go through and delete this, and then we would add 2 new creative to test against the best performing one that we currently have. And then you can just go through and repeat that process. So now you are equipped with everything that you need to get started with TikTok ads. Be sure to subscribe and like the video if you found value in it today. It really does. I really do appreciate it a ton, and we'll see you in the next one.